Good morning, everybody. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Welcome to a brand new day and awesome Sunday system. Today is something we actually wait for. This is the most amazing day of our life. Ever since I started the business, I really look forward to this day. Before I start, I would like to take this opportunity to thank VP Sachin, VP Kavita, VC Gautam, Rakesh Bhai, VC Amit, Digi Bhai, and all the uplines, who have actually made it possible that this system is actually coming to our homes, is coming to our living room, and we can get ocean of knowledge sitting here in at the comfort of our home. I remember my days when I started the business. So actually had to go, travel all the way at least 20-25 kilometers to reach a place, stand in the queue, and then wait for the chance to get the system to get the dose of energy and the ocean of knowledge. And today, I feel we are so blessed that we can get it at the comfort of our house. So huge round of applause for our plan and lots and lots and lots of gratitude to them for creating this entire environment where we can learn and grow at the convenience of a home. And the pandemic is only helping us build strong and better and stronger and stronger. To introduce myself, my name is Bharat, but I'm not the speaker for the day, but definitely I'll be here one day. A few ground rules. Let's have
recording in progress.
Some agreements. The first most important ground rule is the biggest and the most important part of our body. That's the mobile phone. So can we switch it off today? So let's switch off the mobile phone. That's one. And people who've logged on from the mobiles, you put it on DND so that you don't get disturbed. That's the first most. Do you have a confirmation, everybody? Confirmation? Fantastic. So the second is, right, let's have an open mind. Okay, our mind works the best, it's open. So my plan always says that, that your mind works the best like a parachute. Have you ever seen anybody getting saved from a closed parachute? So keep your minds open, So, and third thing is allow the speaker the trespass. Okay. Now, what is trespass? The speaker is not going to come and share what you need to know, what you want to know rather. So the speaker is here to come and share what you need to know. Like there may be times you will feel that, this is directly meant for me. Trust me, it's a master's plan if it is meant for you. And that's why you're sitting here. Because there are people who may not be sitting here for whatever reasons. Now, if you are sitting here and if you are on this system, you are so lucky that you are, everything's going to change post this day to day. Trust me, you can take a moment to, register yourself, or capture yourself as the person who you are. And you will see that, by the end of the system, you will not be the same person. I can tell you that. That's my promise. Today is going to be one of the most life-transforming days for you. I mean, you can note the time, you can note the date, and I can tell you it's going to happen. Because it's happened to me innumerable number of times whenever I have spent time with this person. There have been times I have attended camps with him. There have been times I have attended a 5-minute conversation with him. There have been times I have attended a system or maybe a general conversation or a team get together. I'm telling you, there has never been a single time when, I have not got something which has actually helped me take my life to the next level. So guys, today you all on this call are really blessed. I can tell you that you're really blessed. Now, to the basic ground rules. So do we have a confirmation? The basic ground rules, all of you said, fantastic. Now, to talk about the speaker. It's my privilege. I always say this. I always attract this because it's an honor. It's a privilege. It's a very I would say it's a very emotional moment for me whenever I talk about this person, because after my mother, if there's somebody who has actually made a difference to my life, is this person who's going to come and speak to you. And let me talk something about this corporate. While the corporate actually does not make sense today, but educational background, corporate, all of this today actually has no relevance. But let me talk about that, because there are a lot of people on the call who still get mesmerized or high, depending upon the educational qualification, depending upon the corporate experience. So the person is and when I actually met this person, I actually thought that there are multiple people who have qualification. So I have never seen somebody who is so highly qualified. Now to start with, the person is an IITian. From IIT Mumbai. He's a CFA. He's an FRM. So all these qualifications are in one person. He's an MBA. So all of these qualifications are in one person. When I started the business, I was actually wondering, why does this guy actually need to do business? So I personally feel today the kind of wealth of education, knowledge, and experience what he brings to the table, is bringing more and more credibility to the industry, I would say. So in terms of his corporate experience, he had a decade plus corporate experience. I know, he had a very humble beginning, a person coming from a traditional business background, but a self-made man, who he didn't want to sit on the laurels of his father, that, okay, I will go and take care of my father's business. He decided that he will create from the scratch and achieve it. I know he always shares, he started his career at a salary of 6,000, and in a span of 10 years, he was working in the investment bank, Morgan Stanley, at a very senior position, handling portfolio worth billions. That's the kind of growth he has achieved in a decade. And you know what? It's character, So when he has done it one time, he replicated the same thing again in the business. Today, 9 years in the business, 9+ years in the business, and I know, ever since he started the business, within a year of starting the business, like many people, he started along the job, but within 1 year of starting the business, he fired his boss. And trust me, guys, investment banking, and that too Morgan Stanley, and that too a senior level person, it's not easy to replace a salary. So, but within 1 year, he kicked his boss, he fired his boss, and, and he has been breathing free air ever since then, Now, to talk about, the business success, I don't think there's any milestone in the business that is something is not achieved, So I will not talk more. So if I would just give a simple perspective, right, to give you an understanding of the reach of business that he has, take a globe, okay, spin it, okay, and if you put your finger at any place in the globe, right, he has presence there. So if this gives you some indication of the kind of success this person has achieved, that's the kind of success he has, But I'll tell you what, he always says, and I so truly believe that, success is the amount of success you achieve is not a function of, how far you have reached, because that many people do. But the measure of success is basically how many people, you have actually got along with you, is what actually is a true measurement of success. So you ask me today, every possible milestone in the business he has achieved, and he has helped many people in his team achieve. He became a diamond star, and he has helped many people in his team become diamond stars. He bought his own German car within 1 year of starting the business, today we have stopped counting the number of German cars that he has helped people buy. You talk about max outs. He maxed out, and he has helped many people in his team max out. Now there are people who are, maxing out in his team. The count of Sapphire Star is something we've stopped counting, because if the way it goes, if you're a part of his team, right, everything has to come along. Now he, I'll tell you what is success. I remember spending time with him in Dubai, and we were together, and then there's one sales guy who came to meet him, and I have myself seen in front of my own eyes, he has bought a dozen apartments, in front of me, like people buy vegetables, is the way he buys properties in Dubai. He owns a villa in Dubai, and so, many milestones. I can just keep going on and on and on and on and on, right? But I'll tell you what, it's not just him. Like I said, he's not alone doing it. Now, the recent trend is, a lot of German cars coming. Like, I think every week there's a German car coming in the team. So which means not only his next line, his next at least 10 level down, 15 level down, people are buying German cars. Okay, his next 3 level, 4 level, 5 level down, people are buying properties in Dubai. So Rolexes, Hublots, we just lost count. So that's the kind of success he's achieved. So he's somebody who I have always seen. He's someone who's the most aggressive person I have ever met in my life. Now when I say aggression, right, he believes in setting a benchmark, beating a benchmark, setting a benchmark, beating a benchmark, setting a benchmark, beating the benchmark. Like you see, all these incentives are launched, right? Like Elite Club and all. Now, he's also part of the Achievers Club, which as an organization runs, right? But I'll tell you what, whenever such an incentive is launched and whenever such a drive is there, I know for a fact that he always tells us that, and he always ensures that he's the first person to qualify for that, or he's the first person to achieve that milestone. So that's the kind of aggression, that's the kind of attitude of a go-getter he carries, which I learned from him. Now, if you ask me personally, from my personal experience, what I learned from him, I learn work ethic. I learn, unparalleled work ethic. I have seen him with my own eyes, starting in the morning, taking the 5 o'clock flight from Mumbai, reaching Bangalore at, around 8 o'clock, and starting the plans at 9 in the morning, and then plans, and ending the day with informal time around 3, 4, and again the system, and repeating this day after day after day after day after day after day after day. Sometimes I used to ask, bhai, actually, please take a little rest. Now, that's what I learned from him. I learned submission from him. The way he follows one voice, is very commendable, and that too without single judgment. And see, it's not about his growing days. Even today, when he's successful, when he's a part of the V ambassadorship, right, he is still, he's still listening to everything that comes from Upland. That followership is what I learned from him, following a single voice, Now, I tell you, what I learned from him is how to take care of the team. And I'll tell you his mantra. For him, his team come before anybody and everybody. I remember in the early days, he used to always say that to any team member that, my family is not important. I am not important. Your dreams and your success is the most important thing for me. And I have seen him live by this statement, for the last almost maybe 9 years I've been working with him. He's my working up for the last 6 years. I have seen him live by this thing every single day, every single moment, So to me personally, if you ask me, I was a moron, I was a moron, a very arrogant guy, and every bit of my existence today in life is attributable to him. If I'm a good father, it's attributable to him. If I'm a good son, it's attributable to him. If I'm a good husband, it's attributable to him. If I'm a good brother, it's attributable to him. If I'm a good, downline, upline, so every aspect of my life, I owe it to him. If I have to just say in one statement, literally, if I have to wash his feet and drink the water, I will do that. So that's what he means to me. I will not take much of his time. I want all of you to get everything, before we start. So, without wasting much time, guys, I want all of you to rise. Nothing less than a standing ovation for my mentor, my brother, my lifeline, my guru, my brother, the one and only council, Diamond Star, DC, Amit, SONI.
मेरी कोशिशों को चाहिए ना कोई और सहारा टक्का जितने आते मिलने बधाइयां टक्का जितने
Thank you, AV. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you, the inserts. Thank you, all the translators. I can see all your beautiful faces. I hope I'm audible. And I hope and I pray my speed remains good for the translators. I normally get this feedback. Okay, fingers crossed. Okay, guys. So this is like the best time of the week, Sunday morning. Thanks to our upline, we get to meet, we get to learn from each other, we get to listen to a lot of people. And today I've been given the responsibility to speak. Okay, so let's have a chat. Because generally when you attend a system, or generally when you attend any training, it's not what the speaker speaks which makes a difference. It's never what the speaker speaks. It's what you take from what the speaker speaks and what you talk to yourself internally is what makes a change in you. Correct? Like I'll share an example. It's like the objective of any training, whether it's a system or a VCell or a camp or whatever, there are people who come and say, wow, they get impressed at times. I've seen, what system? Oh my God, what did I feel? Something happens, probably some hormones go up and down in their body. But that's not the objective of the discussion. Imagine, let me give you an example. Imagine in the Battle of Mahabharata, before it began, and Sri Krishna was answering all the questions of Arjuna through the Bhagavad Gita, through various chapters. And imagine after all the discussion, Arjuna would have got down from the chariot and went and told people, what person this guy is, man. He has all the answers. You ask him any question, he has an answer. That was not the objective of Bhagavad Gita. The objective of Bhagavad Gita or that entire discourse was to get that transformation within Arjuna so that he can fight the war of righteousness. Correct? And while we are at it, while he was talking the Bhagavad Gita, for people who know, apart from Arjuna, there were two more people who were listening to Sri Krishna. There was Sanjay and there was Dhritarashtra, who Sanjay was narrating the Bhagavad Gita. So the same Bhagavad Gita, three people were listening live as Sri Krishna was talking. You see the impact was different on each three. What was the impact on Arjuna and what was the impact on Dhritarashtra? His entire take that this, in his words, this bloody person is instigating my, clan to fight with each other. So the whole point is, whenever you attend a system, it's not what the speaker speaks, it's what you take from that and what you talk to yourself internally is what makes the change. Okay, so let's start with that. So let's have a chat. And I'm sure there are people who are attending system who are very new, would be 1 day old. Someone would have been signed up in the morning and said, come and attend. I don't know. There are people who at times do that. There would be people who are 1 week old, and there will be people who are 8 years, 9 years, 10 years old in the system. Now, people who are in the category of 0 to 1 years. Now, these are people, if you ask me, at times the most important for any person who's talking. You know why? As the DNA of infinity goes, as what we have learned from our friends, VP Sachin and VP Kavita, VC Gautam, Rakesh Bhai, that when you have one downline in the system, it's no longer about your dreams, it's about the dream of the last person who joins the organization. And trust me, a lot of the effort that appliance take and the in-service take through systems or through any such means is for people who join you so that your dreams can be fulfilled. And I'm sure people in the 0 to 1 year category, people who are signed up, as we all know, there's a technical sign up, there's a mental sign up. A technical sign up is one wherein you swipe a card or you do the RTGS, you get your e-cards, put your UVs on counter, you buy the product, and you become a customer. A technical sign up just makes you a customer. But a mental sign up happens after the technical sign up at some point in time, either in a resale or in a one-on-one discussion, or during the welcome, or during the zigzag, or in one of the systems, or in one of the events, where a person decides, I want to do this seriously. This makes sense. This sounds good. This is something I want to do. And the gap between a technical and a mental sign up could be 1 day, could be 1 year, could be 4 years. I pray for you it is not too long. For me, thank God, thanks to my appliance, I signed up on Monday and Wednesday my mental sign up happened when I attended my first system, which was taken that time by my partner TheV. So he took my system and I don't know what happened to me in that system. And I was like, whatever. And my whole takeaway from the system was, I love this person. I want to do whatever he is doing. I want to be a part of whatever he's doing because this sounds amazing. So it could be that, and it could be different for different people. Okay, so after the mental sign up happens, and that's a big victory. So for people who are 0 to 1 years, if you're mentally already signed up, hats off. That's a good start. So learn to celebrate that little success because it's a good beginning. Then you start putting in your energy and effort. And some people get a mental sign up after reading the books, after watching the DVD. So it could be different things, but you will get mentally signed up only when you associate a lot with people who are doing the business or have done the business. Your association will decide whether you will get mentally signed up. And that's why mantra, that's one of the infinity core culture, that's why mantra in life. Carefully watch the association you're hanging around with. Who do you speak with? Who influences you the most? What books you read? What you watch on television? Or what videos you watch? Right? To a certain extent, what food you consume? That's all your association. That all goes into making you who you are. And be very careful. So as they say, if you will hang around with 5 intelligent people, you'll be the 6th. If you hang around with 5 people who are morons, you'll be the 6th. If you hang around with 5 people who are poor, you'll be the 6th. And if you hang around with 5 people who are 3%ers or working hard to be 3%ers, you will be the 6th. Your association in life will define your journey. And that applies to everyone. That's what the association, and that's what it makes. So for people who have not yet had a mental sign up, it's okay. Many of us were there at some point in time in the journey for whatever duration. But what people who made it big in the business did, they were in good association. So even if some people took 6 months to get a mental sign up, as my upline VC Gautam says, it took him 6 months to get mentally signed up or probably switched on. Till then he says he was like a sleeping owl and he's a huge success today. So definitely for people still wondering, and that's why to all the new people, uplines keep calling and checking. Tomorrow morning there is system. Please wake up on time. If you want, one night before I will come and sing a lullaby so you can go to sleep on time and then you can wake up and then you can attend system. So that's why uplines keep pushing you for association. They keep pushing you for IIT. They keep pushing you for whatever, like these days, people have started physical association since long, but these days, I believe in every city in India, finally, the great Chinese screw up is coming to a certain stage where we can enjoy physical association. That's what we love. So anyway, now people, when you get mentally signed up, then your whole journey starts towards, okay, now let me get a better hang of it. Now, remember one thing in life, your hunger to learn should always be more than your hunger to earn. Everyone is hungry to earn more money. You talk to a beggar on the street, he wants more money. You talk to a panwala, he wants more money. But is his hunger to learn higher than his hunger to earn? Like in our culture, they say, my grandmother used to tell me, pray to Goddess Saraswati and Goddess Lakshmi will come. So pray to the goddess of intelligence, knowledge, or art, and then wealth will come. Correct? So your hunger to learn should always be higher than your hunger to earn. If you're not hungry, it's a simple thing. I ask myself, what is it that new I learned today? Learning could be any kind of learning, which is relevant to my system, which interests me. Could be my business, could be something related to health, relationships, anything. Could be something I learned, something about something happening in the team or some person in the team. If I keep learning more and more and more, my earning will be taken care of by him. That's what I believe. And I firmly, thanks to my appliance, we since the last few years, we've been associated and we're learning something on the spiritual path. And I always believe, whether it's wealth, money, prosperity, fame, success, your QNet doesn't give it to you, your appliance don't give it to you, your company where you work in a job doesn't give it to you, your parents don't give it to you. It's he who takes care of that. And it's only he and only he. It's only God who will give that to you. And that's why he has his own way of accounting, whom to, how many checks to give to whom. So end of the day, and you don't need to show to him whether you're working or with what integrity, honesty, and intensity you're working. He observes everything. So you will get paid for your hard work. May not be immediately, but eventually you will get paid. I want to tell you a nice story on this. So recently, most people may not be aware, but something very remarkable happened, which has changed a lot of paradigms. So this whole thing about crypto and all these things are going on, cryptocurrency. I'm not talking about crypto investments. I don't promote it. It's up to you want to do it. I will pray for you. Some people have made a lot of money. Let's not deny. But it's for me something which I don't recommend. But there's a lot more to crypto than just Bitcoin or investments. So there's this person called as Mike Winkelmann. I was reading his story and I was so amazed. Way back somewhere in 2000. So this guy, Mike Winkelmann, he's based out of US. He wanted to be an artist. He, when he was growing up, he wanted to draw, paint. He had a passion, but he was not good at it. So one day he decided, okay, I have my job, I have my boring career, but there's not something that interests me. I always want to be an artist. Let me pick up the pen and start drawing something. The first drawing he ever drew was that of his uncle. He just randomly picked up pen, paper, and he, started drawing, and he drew his uncle's face as one of the first drawings. Then what he decided is, I will take some time out every single day, and I will every day draw something. Okay? And the first few drawings which he did, that's still available online. You can go and read about this person. He's remarkable. Were not very great. They were like shabby. Of course, now imagine the first time you pick up the pen or and you start drawing something, it'll not be great. So it took him about 100 days but what he decided, every day I will draw. Every day, no matter what. In 100 days, his drawings became something which people would start appreciating, start getting better at it. Correct? At the end of 365 days, he started understanding how to make digital art and how to make 3D art. In a year down the line, he started learning. Now, every day he's drawing. So his simple mantra was, I have my career, but every day I will draw something. And what he used to do is to post it on social media, whatever he would draw. Correct? At the end of 2 years, his digital art became a bit more interesting. Okay? And he kept doing this. Now, art and painting doesn't have a lot of money. I'm sure most of you understand. Now, everyone talks about MF Hussain or the likes of people, but they are 1 in a million, or in fact 1 in a billion, that category. So it's not a great rewarding career. It does not have that potential that, oh, you become a good artist and the world will want to come in. So it's not like that. But he said, to hell with all that. It is my interest, I will do it every day. He did this consistently for 5,000 days. 5,000 days, every day, one drawing. Every day, one drawing. He had no clue whether this will make money, whether this will become a career. He had no idea. He just said, this interests me, I keep doing it. Okay? And at the end of 5,000 days, he put this all into a digital format. They call it NFTs. In the world of crypto, you can Google later. It's called as a non-fungible token. In simple layman terms, if I make an NFT, it is like Michelangelo or Picasso, they make a painting, there could be replicas of it. But the original is still the original. So an NFT is an original one, and any replica will not get that token. So it's a non-fungible token. Don't worry if you don't understand. It's something which is the original work. He put these 5,000 paintings into one big NFT, which is a work of digital art. And he put it for auction. Christie's, the big auction, they said, he'll come and auction your painting. Do you know how much his painting got sold? So by that time, no NFT piece of art had sold for more than $1 million. Never it happened. This happened recently in the lockdown. His piece of art sold for $69 million at an auction. Now, $69 million for my friend from India is almost 5,000 crore rupees. 5,000 crore. His one. And the person who bought it did not buy because Mike Winkelmann or Beeple, his social media name is Beeple. Or Beeple is like the next Michelangelo or Picasso. He bought it because he loved the story of, and who bought it? An Indian bought it. So Indians, we are not that big appreciators of art. So this guy from South India, he bought this painting for $69 million at an auction. And that was like the news of the day, week, month, that time. Now, he bought this for his 5,000 days of commitment. He bought it for the story behind. He did not buy it for the artistry. There are much better painters than him. And that's his way of rewarding. When you keep doing something day in and day out, no one may be watching, no one may be observing. You may have no clue how this will turn out into something significant, or how will it impact your life? Will it ever make any sense? I'm sure during those 5,000, or especially during the initial days, someone in the family would have told people, hey Ram, what are you doing? This will not make any sense. Why are you wasting your time? Focus on your career, do something else. During the 5,000 days, his child was born, and even on that day, he did a painting. He would not miss a day. He would not, his simple mantra was, I will do one every day. And let's see where this takes. And that's his way of rewarding. And there are many stories like this. You won't create wealth or huge success or anything of significance by doing some random things here and there. Today, I did one invite. Yesterday, last week, 1 month back, 2 months back, I blessed my presence at association as if you're God. It's something that you do day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. And honestly, just the thought of making one painting every day for 5,000 days, if I take the $69 million out of the picture, sounds very boring. to most people. At least it'll sound to me. Yay, it's not even a career, man. I mean, you've grown up, bloody, take care of the family, earn money, but he just had his passion. And I'm telling you guys, no one had a clue it could go for that much. And you know what's the best part? Eventually, he donated most of the money because he donated into a school of art which can help people, budding people like him to come up. So any which ways. So all kinds of success will be eventually any kind of success, any kind of fame, money, wealth, health, prosperity. He can only put in the effort. Results he will give. So the point is, if you're in the first year of a journey, what is the effort you're putting in day out? Whether today you truly understand. See, honestly, in my first year, I did not understand the entire potential of this business as I see it today. Are you getting my point? Or as I could see it 2 years, 3 years later from that point in time. I could not see. I could not understand. I only would hear my lines and I would just believe in the vision and say, something sounds great here. Let's work towards it. It's fun. At least my uplines were fun people to hang around with and be with. They were more successful. They were having a better work ethic. They were better in every aspect than me. I said, let me hang around with them. It'll give me good association. If nothing, at least it'll give me good association. And of course, then the activities and everything started and money started coming in. And of course, money was up and down. It's not a one-way street like anything in life. It's not a one-way street. So it went up and down, but eventually I realized if I can keep hanging around these people, I'll be one of them eventually. If you were one day in your journey, just keep hanging around with 4 to 5 of your uplines, and I'm sure some of who would be max out leaders or would be someone who's earning a lot of money, you will eventually reach their position. It's a no-brainer. It will happen. It's only a part, it's only important. Now, association of every kind of whatever time you can get during the day, evening, afternoon, middle of the night, early morning, whatever time, could be anything. You might be traveling a Mumbai local train to your office, but that time, are you just traveling? Are you reading a book or listening to a video or doing something? How much and how long you're associating, how much this business or success or anything is occupying your mind space. That's what matters. Correct? And if you keep doing this religiously, then you will understand why is it important to do your daily 5+3, why is it important to do your info, invite, plans, closings, hot zones, everything will start falling into place. Correct? Not everything will become a bed of roses, but it will eventually start falling into place. Of course, some will come and love to work with you and do something good. Some will come and may not want to work with you, and fine. It's okay, that's life. But of course, you will start growing as a person. Correct? So that's very important. And especially 0 to 3 months, 6 months, for you, association is most important because your immunity to any kind of nonsense out there, which people with bloody zero negligible IQ or intelligence about my business talk about my business, the more you are quite vulnerable to them. Imagine today someone comes and tells me this business does not work. I'll laugh at him. Correct or not? It's not possible that he can ever influence me, or even he can never influence your upline who spend more than a year. But if he comes and tells you, and they have their own ways of influencing, we are constantly being influenced either by the good guys or by the guys who don't know what is right for us. And so did my uncles and aunts, and we Indians are blessed with a lot of uncles and aunts. Correct? That's how we went from 30 crores after independence to almost 130 crores. Never in the history of mankind such a short span and such a huge population explosion happened. So they also came and told me, oh, but this doesn't work, this doesn't make money, the company will run away. One day I'm telling you, you will be stuck, then you will come to me. My only reply to these uncles and aunts were, do you have anything better which can help me make a millionaire and you can guide me through it? No. Then zip up and get lost. Doesn't make sense. Correct? If you can't help me become a millionaire, there are people who are trying to help me become one, and I want to become one. Then at least let them help me. Are you getting my point? And you have nothing better to talk to me about the business except your opinion. Are you talking facts? No, I don't know the facts, but I've heard bad things about the industry. I've heard bad things about you, bro. But I don't judge you. Correct or not? At times I wanted to tell the uncle, do you know what these aunties gossip behind your back and your wife? If I tell you about what I've heard about you, then you will not want to. So don't tell me what you've heard or what is your opinion. If you have facts, fair enough, let's have a discussion. Right? Otherwise, so all these people will come and try to influence. But honestly, so that's where it differs. You know, if you're sensible, you'll understand who to listen to and who to follow. Correct? Thank God, at least this much sense I had. And I followed my plan. And I tried to follow my plan. As in, I tried to follow 100%, but it was never 100% for a considerable length of time. It could be 90, 80, 85, 100, whatever. I tried to always be aligned and following. So it's very important for your first year learning, be in association, be around your uplines. You know, it's like our first year in life, you're always around our mother or father or some person who would take care of us when we are a child. Correct? When you become a 10-year-old kid, no one bothers. I mean, no one looks after every single minute of what you do. 20 years, then they say, "Arey, bada ho gaya, abhi apna dekhi." Correct? So the point of association makes a lot, especially in this journey and during this part of the journey. Now, then there's a second category of people. Now, you've spent more than a year and you've got some sense of success. You've earned some money. You know, that sum could be 1 crore. In 1 year, people have earned more than 1 crore. People have earned 10 lakhs. It depends on, it's not the amount of money that makes a huge difference, but it's what experiences you have been through 1 year, how much you worked hard in your 1 year, how much effort you have put in that 1 year. Because remember, everything is observed and everything will be rewarded, not instantly, may not be instantly, eventually. So I've seen people who in their first 1 year have made a lot of money, 1.5, 2 crore rupees, you know, which for people from other countries would be 200,000 US or 300,000 US in the first year of journey. Correct? But then eventually they have fizzled out, or they were happy, they were satisfied, their hunger was satiated, so they were sorted. And I've seen people who in 1 year they have hardly earned anything, but they've worked their backside off and they've put in a lot of hard work, and eventually they've created a lot of wealth. So it's not a competition, it's not a race. It's not like your office promotion, you should be the first to get it. You can promote yourself every week and you can give your appraisal every week to yourself. But right now, focus on the work. So people 1 year plus who've got some sense of success. And so what happens is, when you mentally sign up, of course, there's a level of innocence, and we start working in that innocence, and we just follow our upline or uplines, and we start getting success. As we start getting a little bit of success, then we feel, now I know what is to be done. Ta-dang, ta-dang. And your downfall starts. It's like the terrorist arriving in a Hollywood movie or a Bollywood movie. Now something bad is going to happen. Because the moment you feel, now I know what is to be done. Now I know how to show plan, how to do a sign up, how to do an FP, how to do a welcome, blah, 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 blah. I have a team or whatever, 30, 40, 50, 100, 150, depending. Now I know. The day you reach this stage that now I know what is to be done, and that fuels your ego and confidence, your downfall starts. Because what happens, now I know what is to be done means somewhere the hunger to learn diminishes. Correct? And the moment hunger to learn comes down, hunger to earn may be there, but the earnings will go. And trust me, this happens with almost everyone. Happened with me also. That's why I say the business is like a W. It's not like a straight line. You know, you go up, come down, eventually you will, because you will realize that. So all those people who feel now I've spent a year, I've got some success, but now it's not happening the way it should. Could be 1 year plus, could be 2 years, 3 years, whatever. Check. Are you in a seeking mode? Is your hunger to learn still there? Or are you a bloody full cup or a full drum or a full pond or a river or an ocean? And what you are. Correct? And your downfall will start. And the only way your downfall will stop is when you empty your cup and your hunger to learn and to seek. How should I grow from here? Goes back to the level where it should be or where it was even, before when you were growing. So check, are you in a seeking mode? And this applies to everyone, whether you are 1 year in the journey or you're 10 years in the journey. Are you still learning and growing every single day, growing as a person? Your CPA and your bank account will grow. Are you growing? What is new that you've learned? Are you getting better at working with people? Are you a better leader? Are you a better downline? Are you a better line? Are you a better follower? And if that doesn't keep improving, somewhere you will get stuck. And then you will wonder, but I am doing everything that I was doing 1 year back, but your energy and your state of has changed. Your mindset has changed because you're not seeking now. You're not wanting to learn. And especially 1 year plus, I'm sure all of you can relate. There are times you will come in the journey, there are times you will go through in this journey where you will have a question or you will have some doubts or challenges. Before you go and talk to your upline, you will know what answer the upline will give. You will give yourself the answer and say, hey, let it be here. You are a full cup. If you knew everything, you would have been Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Or you would have been Lord, or you would have been Allah, you would have been like that. So every day when you wake up now, look yourself in the mirror and tell, as they say, when I learn a little bit, I feel I have learned a lot. But when I learn a lot, I feel I don't know anything. There's so much more to learn. There's so many things to learn. Correct? And everyone more than 1 year in the journey, if you're stuck at a certain level of counter or checks or rank, ask yourself, what is it that I'm learning? And stop bloody going back into your past and thinking, oh, what was I doing then that I'm not doing now? I'm doing everything, but you're not learning new. And something new needs to be learned for you to grow from here. Correct? So always remember, your hunger to learn at any point in time, from now till the moment you die, should always be more than your hunger to earn. And as long as that happens, your earnings and your everything will be taken care of. And that's when the alignment goes with your upline goes for a toss. Because when I've heard people coming and telling me, I know what to do now. So what to call you again? I don't want to bother you. Bloody forget, you're not bothering me. You don't know you're screwing your own self up. You don't even realize this. Correct? If I come to you, what will you answer? It's not about what I answer. It's about, as I said, it's not about what solution our client gives. It's not always or only about that. It's about the mindset and the zone you are in. That makes a difference. Many times we as clients, when someone comes and talks, we are also, surprised that how did we come up with a solution? Why did we tell him this thing? And that worked for him also. It may be a gut or a hunch or whatever, but at times you're in the right zone. He wanted that learning to come to you and it came through your upline. I can guarantee many uplines at many a times when they're counseling some downline, and I'm talking about people who spent a lot of time in the journey, would be surprised of why did I tell him this thing today? At times we get out of a call and feel, okay, why did I say that? I don't know, but it just happened. And that person, if he takes it seriously, it really makes a difference. And then he comes and says, and that's why there's some knowledge that year 2015, 16, 17, you told me something that changed, and the upline is wondering, did I tell him that? I don't even remember. Happens or not? So it's not about, it's about what zone you are in. are you seeking? Are you following? Are you in gratitude? Are you in respect of your appliance? Are you, I see people ignoring phone calls from appliance, ignoring, and they think we were born yesterday, that we don't know, not calling back, right? And all these things are a leading indicator. It's like when we have a certain symptom, we go to the doctor, and the doctor analyzes the symptom, goes back to the root cause of it, and gives us some medicine or a cure. These are symptoms that some disease is developing in your business or organization. Are you in a seeking mode? Because your ego also grows along with you, and grows faster. So watch out for that, because that will help. That will ensure you self-destruct. Correct? So always remember, be an innocent seeker at any point in time. They say, like I'll tell you, my friend Rakesh Bhai, we call him a grown-up kid. He's a grown-up child. He's a grown-up man. Now he's a father also, a proud and a very happy father. But the child within him, the only one who can compete is probably his son. He's the child from within. We be around him, and we at times get amazed at certain, and it's something that I learn a lot from. A baby, so that same thing, that innocence and that seeking mode should always be there. Should always be there. Correct? So you need to check for that. And of course, then there are these people who are like 5 years plus or 4 years plus. And some of them have earned a lot of money or are earning, and some of them are struggling or have earned but they are struggling now, or they haven't earned and now they're struggling, whatever could be the thing. Correct? Now, these people know everything that is there to be done. It's not that something new, something new in the mechanics can be taught to them. It's like, I tell people, and this is what my approach will be, you're 5 years plus, you, in terms of skills and mechanics, you're almost at the same level. It's just your state of mind, ownership, responsibility, which will take you to grow. There's nothing new. Kavita should tell me, there's nothing new I can teach you about prospecting or closing or calling or anything. Yeah, I can share the new practices I'm doing. I'll share that with you. That's how IIP was born, and that's how, because she and Sachin and Kavita, they did it first, and then they taught it to us. They shared it with us. Correct? So all those things happen. But what happens at this part, and which is valid for everyone? See, when you work, it's not just the work you're doing, it's with what energy are you working. Now, and now I'll tell you, the well-trained people will also come and say, I'm working, but I don't know if my energy is right or wrong and all. So, ye kis chidiya ka naam hai energy? Correct? We'll go to Newton and Einstein and ask by what energy you were talking about. No. It's basically, that's such a, beautifully, as Sachin always said, the kirkir in the head. That small birdie talking in your head all the time, which drains your energy. Classic example, you could play one day of physical sport like cricket or basketball or football. A whole day you can play. And that may not drain you out physically as much as you sit one day in your office in a job, and you could come back very stressed out and drained out. Happens or not? Because there's something that was draining energy. While you're playing cricket or football, you enjoy that. So you're not physically tired. Correct? Your mental energy is drained. So there are people who work, have a good work ethic, but with what energy are you working? With what state of mind? With what state of will? And what happens is, for people who spend more than 5 years, it's very important. It's like a killer if you don't empty your cup every day. It's a killer if you don't empty your cup every day. You will die faster if you don't empty your cup every day. Because in 5 years, you carry such a lot of baggage of success, of failure, of wealth, of fame, of respect, money, bad time. It's like a huge baggage. And that baggage slows you down, that brings your energy down. And then when you work with that intensity, you don't get results. Are you getting me? I'll give you an example. I was just listening to, let me just share my screen and I hope you guys can see it, and I hope people on YouTube can also see it. Oops, this was my test. Can you see my whiteboard? So that is, I was listening to one of these sessions of Tony Robbins, and it really impacted me in terms of what he was saying, and I think it makes a lot of sense for people. So I want to share that with you. It's nothing of what I speak is original. Everything is copied. I learned from my appliance. When you see success copied shamelessly, do not question it. So everything of what I speak today is copied from my appliance. Who told you Robbins was? I had no clue. My appliance told me there is this guy who's pretty good, so you can listen to him and follow him or learn from him. Correct? So what he says is, see, what makes people take massive action in pursuit of their goals? It is the certainty of result. If you're certain when you do something, you will get a result, you will take massive action. If you're certain whatever you do will not get a result, you will not take any action. Two categories. Both are good. The third are the people who are not certain. They are in between. Their belief a bit shaky, take action or not, whether it will get result or not. These are the people who suffer. Correct? So what he says is, there are these four quadrants called as potential, okay, action, okay, results. I will not try to bore you. I'll try not to bore you. And belief. So what he's explaining, which can help you to reset your energy. This is what helped me. So potential is limitless, always. Correct? Your own potential. So you believe in a potential, you take a lot of action, you get results, and results will reinstate your belief. But now imagine, let's say, you don't believe in potential that much, you don't take massive action, you take less action, you get less results. Now, less results again fuel your belief that, see, I knew this will not work. Correct? This also happens. And then you go into a downward spiral. Then when your belief is low, you will feel the potential is low, you will take even less action, you will get even less results, and your belief will come down. And there are people who get stuck in this downward spiral. They get stuck. But what is it that differentiates people who get massive results or who achieve significant success? They believe in the potential. They are almost certain about the potential. They take massive action. They get results that fuels their belief. So there's an upward spiral. Then again, they feel the potential is even higher. Then they take even more action. They get even better results, and their belief becomes higher. They say, wow, I knew this will work. Let's go on. And emptying your cup at any time, if you're in the downward spiral of, the loop, is very important. And there are people who are stuck in this thing. They know the potential, the business is huge, it's limitless, but they feel, oh, my potential is not there. So they don't take enough action, they get less results, and then they say, see, I told you this will not work. It's not helping me out. And then they will ask questions like, what is it that team was doing or that person is doing which is making him grow? He's not doing anything different. I'll give you an example on this. Let me just stop the share and I'll come back to a discussion and I'll revisit that back. It's like, Roger Bannister, there was a huge discussion till the middle of the last century where a human being potentially cannot run a mile under 4 minutes. They used to call it a 4-minute mile. Doctors and scientists had done research that the human body does not have the lung capacity to breathe, does not have the physical ability or capacity to run 1 mile under 4 minutes. And there was a lot of discussion on that. Along the way comes Sir Roger Bannister. Now, he eventually was given the knighthood by the Queen. And he was the first person to run the mile under 4 minutes. It was not that he was the first runner ever existed in this world, but just that he made some shift in his mind. He ran the mile under 4 minutes in his head. And eventually it happened. Now, what is the remarkable thing? After he ran, now this was being tried for centuries, never happened. Here comes Sir Roger Bannister, he does the mile under 4 minutes. Within the next 2 years, 40 people, no one could ever do it, 40 people within 2 years after Sir Roger Bannister ran the mile under 4 minutes. Since that time, in the middle of the last century, 75,000 people have ran the mile under 4 minutes, including high school kids. What happened? The belief went to another level that if it can be done, I can also do it. And that fueled the self-potential, that fueled massive action, that got better results, and that got reinforced. Now people ask me, but okay, I haven't got the... So at times, of course, in the journey, you will come across this where you were believing you were getting results, but right now, level of belief is not that much. And I'm sure people who spend a lot of time on the journey will relate. At times, your belief goes for a toss, or if someone's starting you, your belief may not be there. How do I generate this belief and certainty? Because belief to a level of certainty is what makes a difference. How do I do that? Let's go back to the... So how do I fuel this up? Because I don't have results in my favor. And here's where he gives a mantra. He says, create the results in your head. I'll give you an example of what he's talking about. There was a study done with 3 groups of professional basketball players in the US. Okay, there was a study done. The first group were told that for the next 6 weeks, in basketball where they have to take like a penalty shot, they stand at the semicircle and they have to take a penalty. And there are these professional people who have practiced this for years, but still at crucial moments they miss it. So they wanted to understand what is it that makes them miss and what can be done. So they divide the professional into 3 different groups equally. They tell the first group, for the next 6 weeks, every day you have to take, let's say, 500 shots. You have to score those many baskets. Correct? The second group, they say, your profession, don't do anything. So don't practice, relax, just carry on a normal thing. The third group, they tell them, now listen, in your head, sit and practice 500 shots in your head. Visualize you taking 500 shots. You're not doing it physically, you're just doing it in your head. And after 6 weeks, they went back and checked the results. Who do you think scored the highest? Of course, people who did not practice, nothing. It's a no-brainer. But people between group 1 and group 3 got better results. They got better results than doing... So for 6 weeks, they were not allowed to practice, but they were just asked to practice in their head. And there are several studies I can quote and I can talk about from Harvard to the Ivy League where and this is what our upline tells us, visualize your success, visualize where you want to be. It's not something that you do it randomly. It's something which should be a part of your daily routine. I take 15 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. I know some people do it 1 hour. They visualize, they sit with themselves, they talk about affirmations, and they get results in your head. And there was a study done of all people who are successful. Without any exception, everyone, even when they were a nobody, knew one day I will have this lifestyle. They just knew it. One day I will stay in a villa. One day I will drive a German Italian car. One day I will have this lifestyle, that lifestyle. This is all documented. I'm not talking about some random things which just occurred to me this morning. Are you getting my point? And there was a study in Harvard which did, where the 2 sets of people were asked to, so they were all piano players and why am I making the sign of the violin? Piano. Okay, I've got so two sets of people divided, and they did a study on their brain patterns. Group one were told for the next 1 month, every day come and play the piano for 2 hours. Group two were told every day sit in a room with yourself and imagine you're playing the piano. And they studied their brain pattern, what kind of neurons were triggered, what part of the brain was. There was no difference in the brain pattern of the two people, and the result of the study was the human mind or consciousness doesn't differentiate between the physical and the metaphysical or the abstract world. So whatever goes on here eventually will happen. So that's how you trigger your belief, even if you've started new, even if you're stuck. And you know what? If you're stuck, you're not getting results. Of course, you will go into a downward spiral. You will get, because you're not getting results. Your belief will come down. You will feel the potential for you is not much. You will not take much action. Again, you'll get results. It's a downward spiral. First, empty your cup. Create results in your head. Make it a practice. That's why we tell. Sometimes, some person will say, he's so much in a critic. Go and practice magic for 1 month. Do it. Because you're cribbing so much now, even if I give you a solution, you'll not be able to listen. It will not make any sense. It's like, I was reading on one of the forums, that Sri Krishna gave the Bhagavad Gita to Arjun. Why did he not give it straight to Duryodhan, and the war of Mahabharata wouldn't have happened? Correct? But Duryodhan was not in a state to even receive anything. So at times when you go to your upline also, are you in a state to receive? Because you're going there physically, mechanically, but you're not in a seeking mode. What difference will it make? Then you judge the solution. Then you judge your upline, and then you'll say, this he doesn't understand me. The problem of any conversation is you want everyone to understand you without you trying to understand the other person. मुझे समझो, विष्णु अवतार हो क्या तुम? तुम्हें समझे? पहले तुम तो समझो क्या बोलने की कोशिश कर रहे हो. So the whole point is, if you feel you are stuck, or whether you start out, first create the results in your head. Results needn't be, now someone will say, I will create a result. That handsome boy or that beautiful girl should sign up with me. Or that superstar CEO or that person from that community should sign up with me. See, some people are smiling. उन्होंने सोचा है, मुझे पता है. So the point is not that. Create results for your life in your head. Your German car, your Italian car, your villa, your dream vacation, your business class, first class. Do that as a practice. You do this religiously, maybe for half an hour a day for the next 100 days, and you see the change. Not that you just do this and then you go back to sleep. You do this and you work with that energy. You work with that intensity. What has happened so far does not matter. What I create now or from now on is what will differentiate, or what will create what will make a difference in my life. It does not matter abhi tak kya hua. Sare log past mein ji rahe. This happened, that happened. This didn't work, that worked, does not make. Either you're staying in a past glory or a past failure, does not make any difference. Become a student and learn and start doing things from now. As Achima says, every system, take one small decision. If there's one decision you need to take, could be this, that from now on for the next 100 days, okay, forget half an hour. If some people feel, I'm so busy. In India, it's a matter of pride. Suddenly the chest swells, I'm so busy. Die. Any kind of, because if you feel you're so too busy, you are screwed up. Any kind of change or transformation needs time. Start doing this, create the results in your head, sit, practice, visualize yourself, do all that. And then with that, your belief will become certain. Then you will believe in the potential of your own self, because business potential is there. I have had donkeys coming and telling me, I feel the business potential is only so much. And I like, sir, phodum kya? You don't see the potential what Sachin and Kavita have achieved in this. For me, that is the ultimate potential, boss. 100 crore mansion. Oh my God. Matlab, kitne zero, you don't even know how many zeros are there. Sorry, translators. You know, it's when you get too. But I feel the potential because you are a moron. There's a long beep in my head. There were a lot of words. You fill in the blanks. I did not say. So potential. Then you will take massive action. And that action with a renewed energy will give you better results. That will fuel your belief. So you check yourself. Are you in a downward spiral or you are in an upward spiral? Your counter, how many people in your team are making checks, how many people are buying cars, is a reflection of that. It's what state of belief you are in. And the best way to get that belief to certainty means it's not that I'm certain this will work. The best way, what Tony said is, I have no other choice but to make it work. I don't have a choice. I want that lifestyle. I want it. That's the best way to raise that certainty to that level where you will be like, there is no way I can live a life which is mediocre or average, go to work, come back home and bloody die. Broke. I have to make it happen. I have to create a great life for myself and then my team and then everyone. That's most important. And while you're working on this journey, then some people, they are in an upward spiral and they're doing pretty well and their energy is good. Then what they do is they start focusing on things which are not in their control. We were told this, I want to share a nice story with you, which we were told in one of our earliest, one of my earliest systems in the first 6 months. And that's a nice story. I'll need the whiteboard again. I'll just do this. And I am not Beeple or Mike Winkelmann, so pardon my drawing. But in the middle of a jungle, there was a river flowing. Imagine this is a river. It's a test of your visualization and not my drawing. Okay, so whoever can see a river, good. Okay, who cannot needs to practice more. There was a river on one side, and the river was flowing aggressively. It was one of those days. And okay, let me just put this here. There were some clouds here, and it was very cloudy, and it was about to rain. The clouds had gathered. Okay, and it was like a storm is about to come. There was a pregnant deer over here. Imagine this is a deer. Although it looks like amoeba, but imagine a deer and a pregnant deer. Correct? A pregnant deer, and there's a forest here. Okay. There was a forest here. Okay. And there was a hunter with a rifle about to shoot the deer. And here there was a lion. Jo bhi chodo. I'll write it better. Don't expect me to draw a lion. So there was a lion here. Okay. And suddenly the storm is about to start. So lightning happens and suddenly there's a forest fire. So this goes up in, let me write it. So visualize forest fire over here, a hunter trying to shoot the deer. There's a lion here who's trying to pounce on the deer. Pregnant deer wanting to deliver a child. A deer is, and there's a river and there's forest and fire, cannot escape. What did the deer do? It focused on what it could do, delivering the baby. What happened? There was a stroke of lightning and this hunter got distracted, and when he was taking an aim, he missed the deer and he shot the lion. So the lion got taken care of. There was rains and the forest fire was doused. The deer delivered, and the lightning hit the hunter. The lion, everything got taken care of. The deer delivered the baby. What is the moral of the story? It's simple. Focus on what is in your control. This single lesson is so crucial. It's so instrumental. People want to focus on so many things. What is not in your control, you don't even need to know about it. What is happening in Afghanistan? Unfortunate. Can you change anything? There are people who discuss for 1 hour what will the Taliban do. They will not check with you. Let them do what they want to do. You focus on what is. Some people are, they're addicted to reading the newspaper and watching the news. The single most disastrous habit for your growth in life. The single most disastrous habit for your growth in life. All news is full of negativity, nonsense, shit, and something which is not in your control. I know some people will be offended, but that's, and Sachin, it is not something Sachin told us to us. 5 years, don't watch the news, don't read anything, newspaper, be busy working than focusing on what's not in your control. Kab lockdown hoga, kab khulega, what not in your control. Don't waste time thinking. This mind is a great tool and a weapon. Use it to create your future and your destiny, and not waste it discussing things or being involved or indulging in things which are not in your control and which that only drain your energy out. Will it rain today? Arey bheeg jana yaar, nikalna. So many people, they think more. And they keep indulging in things which are not in your control. They keep getting irritated with things which are not in their control. Why the system started 5 minutes late? Not in your control. In service, as speakers taking care, you be bothered about your own learning. 5 minutes में वरना क्या उखाड़ लेते? I don't like indiscipline. भाई महात्मा गांधी हो तुम. Not in your control. Stop focusing. See what you can take from it and move ahead. What language the speaker used? Not in your control. Take the good. Move ahead. A rose also has bad things attached to it, like a thorn. Forget it. Focus on the rose. Have you ever gifted a rose to a girl? See how beautiful the thorns are. Correct or not? Focus on things which are in your control, and that ensures your energy is intact. What's in my control? My activity, my 5+3, my team's activity, driving it, Now, results are not in your control. Results are never in your control. Bullshit if you think your results are in your control. That's ego. Only effort is in your control. Your process, you talk about any religious text, that's what it talks about. Effort and activity is in your control. Results are his. Why to be bothered about, it's like, imagine you want a garden, in your backyard. Let's say you stay in a villa and you want a garden nice with flowers and all in your backyard. You want full of flowers and all that. Can you plant plastic and artificial flowers and be happy about it? To get flowers, you don't have to focus on flowers. Flowers is your result. To get flowers in your garden, you have to focus on everything except the flower, like the soil, the manure, water, sunlight. Correct? Are there any weeds in your garden? Are there insects? You have to focus on all the shitty things and then you get flowers. You don't start working on it and 2 days say, I can't see a rose. You have to keep doing things and that's why you have to be You have to be literally married to the process of what will give you flowers eventually. You have to fall in love with the process. Then flowers will happen. Fall in love with what you need to do to get to max out a financial freedom. Fall in love with that. And you need to fall in love. You know, in one of the earlier interactions, Chief had told us very beautifully, you need to fall in love with at least one aspect of the business. That one aspect could be rhythm for some, there will be people who fall in love with the concept of in-service, could be money, wealth, could be fall in love with the association people. Some people just fall in love. I love to hang around with these people. You know why? Because once you fall in love, it will no longer be effort. You know what a gardener does is what some people will term as kachra kaam hai. Mitti, all the sand and fertilizer. For some people, it is all dirty job. But the gardener is in love with what he does. Are you getting my point? Once you fall in love now with the process, with the business, it will not be like an effort. I have seen like my own bhabhi, when she got married and she used to say, we had a pet dog, so who would at times mess up and do shit here and there, or vomit. We had to clean. I would do it for my dog. She would never do it. She said, this is one thing I cannot. My mom would just smile. One day, once you have a child, you will fall in love with the shit also and clean that also. All mothers do. Or all, these days, fathers also do. Are you getting my point? Otherwise, there are some people who can never do it for anyone. Right? They can never do it. But it's when they fall in love with the child, they will do all the shitty things also for the child's benefit. Fall in love with your dreams. There are some people who just want to give up on their dreams. How can you give up on something you love? Can a mother say, this child does keep shitting all the time, I don't like, leave. Bahut tatti karte hai. Mother falls in love with the child and that's it. And the first thing you need to fall in love with is your own dreams. And then you don't feel anything is an effort. Some people make a big deal about, how much I work. Bloody, you're in love. Imagine the first time you fell in love in your teenage. Guys would drive down from one part of city to the other part just to get a glimpse. That time you didn't ask your girlfriend, I'm tired, I've just come back. Let's say you were in your first job, I've come back from office. If I come, what will I get? She would have slapped you. But you were in love, you just did all that. So fall in love with your dream, fall in love with some part of the business that will make this journey much easier than what otherwise it would be. Ask yourself right now, what is it about this business that you're in love with? Even if you're in love with your dreams, you will love the business. Because before this business, my boss never spoke about dreams. Any discussion about money or salary which will help me fulfill my dreams, he would avoid. He would avoid. That bugger would not want to have that discussion. And the best part I loved is when I started this journey, VC Gautam, who was my first working upline, every week or every day he would have one question: how much money you want to earn this week? That was a big change for me. And I fell in love with the fact that I want to earn a lot of money. Finally, someone who's doing better than me is wanting to talk about my goals and my dreams and my income. And I swear, he would work harder once I would decide a figure and tell him, he would work harder and ensure I try to keep to it. I fell in love with this concept that, boss, these are my dreams, I should be owning them. I show responsibility, which I did, but he has more ownership and responsibility. I'm talking about my first few weeks and months in the journey. And all throughout my uplines have always, even till date, my uplines own my dreams. And that's the best part. Where else will you get this kind of support system, boss? Some people are stuck in the mechanics and this and that. That all can be sorted out. But are you in love? I am in love with this business. I love my dreams. And I know this business can only help me fulfill my dreams. I love my uplines. I love my team. I love the fact there are so many beautiful people who work together to change each other's lives. I love my team. I learn so much from them. So are you in love? If you're in love, then don't come and talk about effort. Fall in love with the effort, and that will eventually get you the results. So stop worrying about results not in your control. Effort is in your control. Results are his. People come and say, oh, last 6 months I did not earn so much. You're talking about results. Tell me last 6 months what all you did. And don't lie. How many plans you showed, how many DRs you did, how many people are you working with closely, how many people are you helping with calling activity, how many people are you getting to system or association, how many markets are you traveling to, are you in physical association? Now, you know, there are these group of people who have become dumbos, lazy bums who don't want to move out of their home and come to association. They feel COVID should last forever. So I can sit at home and just enjoy. I don't blame people who were born, you know, after the COVID hit. You don't know what fun we used to have in physical association. It was fun to us. Some people said, oh, I have to travel so far. If traveling is a problem now, oh my God. Bhagwan refund डाल देगा तुम्हारा. God will put your refund. No, it's so far to association. I can't lift my ass, my tashrif. Oops. And go to association. So don't conveniently listen to someone and filter certain things out and do what you feel is good to do or what is comfortable. Let it move out of a comfort zone and do whatever is required to be done. Do everything what is required to be done. Do everything that any upline, any person in system, of course, whatever is spoken in system and we sell, the standard disclaimer. Check with your working upline before implementing. So don't call your upline and say, I want to come to association. Check with him. If he feels, I feel the more we can meet and the more we can be in physical association, it makes a huge difference. Upline also gets energy from the physical. It's not only for downline that I will go there, I'll get energy. It's for the uplines also. In fact, if you ask me, it's a lot for the uplines many times who are stuck in that negative spiral. You need association. You need energy. There are times in the journey, just called my upline and said, we have taken flights, we have traveled countries to be in association with our upline. We have traveled because we just want to be in that association. And there are times we know the only solution is that. Everything else is fine, just that. And it's not that when I travel, and there are some people who come to associate and keep observing, like a Banya or a Marwadi. What did my upline say? What did I gain today? I spent 57 rupees for Ola share or Uber pool or rickshaw. And my upline spoke, this will help you only earn 32 rupees. Oh, okay, so I'm in debt deficit. Bullshit. Don't be like a banya and calculate that. Just go and receive whatever. But everything cannot be translated into the end result, but everything is going into building you as a person. I have been built as a person because of my association with my appliance. Whoever I am today. Whatever good I have is because of them. Whatever bad is my moronic stuff because of which I'm not yet learning that. It's all because of them. And it's a God's blessing and a plan that they entered into my life and changed everything. That doesn't mean that these 9+ years were the relationship with appliance were always hunky-dory. There were a lot of issues, there were a lot of challenges, there were a lot of arguments, there were a lot of fights. But I'll tell you one thing, I always maintain, and I can say it, and all my appliance, you can always go and check. I never raised my voice with them. I never disrespected them. I followed, I would have disagreed, I would have not understood, I have been a donkey many times. But I said, you know what, I want to be around these people. If I just be around these people in association, I will grow in life. That's it. And they are my support system today. Correct? So that is like, that's like a mantra for anything, association. Because association will keep you in the right zone of energy. Association will keep you out of a comfort zone. Association will keep you doing your activity. Association will keep you and your work ethic to a certain level. Association will ensure you don't focus on other things which are not in your control and don't get distracted. Association will do everything eventually. So generate that results in your head first and do it as a daily ritual and never stop. This is something we teach in LS, and it is not to be done only at that stage, it's to be done forever. Daily, a certain amount of time. The best time to do it 1 hour before you sleep, 1 hour after you wake up. In that period, because your mind is from your conscious level going into the subconscious. Because when you sleep, only your subconscious mind is awake. So that's the best time to do it. There are people who are hugely and immensely successful who have shared they do this as a ritual. So create that results. That will give you certainty that you have to do it, you want it. On my Facebook, so I don't use Instagram I don't post anything, I'm very bad at that, but I follow, these channels which show the $1 million mansions and the lifestyle of the rich and all. I follow them. It's so amazing. It helps you to visualize. Whoever could not see a deer in my diagram, you need to follow these channels so you can get better at visualization, right? So do that, create the results. Check, are you in an upward spiral of getting results or a downward spiral? If you are in downward, now you know what has to be done. First, empty your cup, start doing this for the next 100 days, make it a ritual every day, maybe 15 minutes. अब 15 मिनट से कम तो मत करना, उतना तो टॉयलेट में लग जाता है. Someone say, I don't even have 15 minutes. Then I will say a prayer for you. Correct? Do it. It will eventually make a difference. Check your association. Check your alignment. Be grateful. Some people say, today I practiced gratitude. Fair enough. Are you grateful? I practiced gratitude. I stepped out of that. I walked downstairs. Someone come and cut my car. I was like, hey! That is not being grateful. I used to do that. My first time I took my appliance, Rakesh and Gautam, from Bombay to Pune in my car, I was driving. I was a donkey. Every time on the expressway, when the truck would not leave the first lane, I would overtake from the side and I will give a lot of. I'll remember the truck driver's mother and sister in the conversation and I will shout every instant. And Gautam and Rakesh were just smiling. Kya kar raha tu? I said, that guy should understand. He should not be the whole problem. He should understand. The world should understand. You should just move ahead and go now. Today it's a very different. It's like truck. Chala hai. You getting my point? So don't practice gratitude. Be grateful. It's okay. Shit happens. People will be like that and they will push you. Just relax, calm, take a deep breath and relax. and focus on what's in your control, what you can do today. Focus on what you can do today, now, to change your life. Don't focus on Wednesday, there is full moon or there is no moon, and that day I will sit and do this. Oh, bullshit. What you can do today. Focus on the now. Well, that's the only thing in your control. And today is a Sunday. How many calls you can do today? How many catch up? How many invites? How many plans are you going to show today? How many people are you going to go and do a coffee meeting or do whatever? What you can do today? If your agenda was today I will attend system and then I will go and eat my food and go to sleep, hey Ram, then there's no activity. At the end of the day, that is what's going to change. So what is it? I know all of you all, or most of you all, if not all of you all, do sharings after the system. In your sharing, share now. What are you going to do today? Let's make that a discussion. What are you going to do today? How much you want to earn this week? There are people who I feel are in the right zone of energy and they visualize, but there's some who only keep talking about 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line. What is it? Discussion for this today and this week. Focus on the short term. Focus on the next grip. Welcome, mein bola tha. Correct? So, in your sharing, focus on and share what are you going to do today. I know now some people will not join the sharing only because their plan today was after this go to sleep. Sunday, the sun is also. So, want to relax. So, share what you're going to do today, what activity you will do. How many plans you will show this week? How many invites you will do? How many info? Let's talk about the short term to change our long term. Let's talk about what we're going to do now. Correct? And that will make a huge difference. Remember, successful people don't do different things. They do the same things differently. And there are small changes if you just implement in your style of working, in your way, the way in which you work, it will make a huge impact. And one day, it's like the minute we ask people who max out or a financial fee, what do you do? How did it all happen? They also don't know when it happened. Pata nahi, I kept on doing small things day in and day out, religiously, and it eventually worked out. I can't, when it started, I could not see how it will happen. I just kept doing what is in my control and it eventually happened and kept following someone who's already there. Just following whatever this person is saying. Clear? So let's focus on that. Let's focus on our activity. Let's focus on what is in our control. Let's only talk about that. Results will follow. Correct? So let's make the most of today. Let's let it be a very busy Sunday. Let's show a lot of plans. Let's talk to a lot of prospects. Let's work with everyone in the team. And let's help everyone fulfill their dream. And let's fall in love with the business if you're not already. Okay? Thank you so much. So I hope it made a difference. And I'm sure some people will at least start implementing, and I can guarantee you start implementing 1 or 2 or 3 things which I said, a lot of changes will happen. Love you all. Thank you so much. Let's rock and do a lot of work today. Thank you.